when I asked, like, my musical inspiration, I always joked that everything I am is me failing to be Bob
Yeah,
Dylan.
yeah,
That's
you
it.
know, like,
I tried to be
trying
him
my
so
best.
much, but you can never be him. And it's just, this is what I've taken away. And when I make a couple mistakes along trying to be Bob Dylan, that's what's made me me. When I was younger, trying to figure it all out.
Yeah.
Another question I had, because there are different, I was thinking about this when you were talking about high school, and you kind of lose your way with stuff that you grew up either listening to or that you grew up liking, because high school's a jungle. There are
Oh my God.
animals out
Yeah.
there. So you have to almost adapt what you like and kind of give it up. And one of my influences is that goes into music, but it goes into life in general, is Jim Carrey is one of mine.
Oh, yeah.
Because
man.
he's someone that is so comfortable with being himself that
Oh,
he
yeah.
makes other people want to be themselves.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of found that with my music that, you know, I don't want to, if I don't think if people are going to like this, or I don't know if this line's going to work, or I like trying to be so true to me, and I don't care if people like it or not. If I like
yeah.
it and I like what's in my head and I like that's coming out, and that will draw people into almost, I mean, there's been people who do poetry, or they'll write music, and they'll come up to me, and it might be a song that I don't even like that much of mine, and they'll come up and be like, hey, I really like that song that made me think about this, so I'm going to go home and I'm going to get back into poetry. I'm going to get back into writing. And it's that kind of stuff with being so comfortable with just yourself that can lead into music. And I was wondering if you guys had any influences that aren't musicians that kind of played into how you go about your music, or maybe even just go about your stage presence.
Yeah, I think one thing that isn't necessarily an influencer, but like an influencing event was really getting into theater, because I did theater a lot through high school. And I guess I'll use, not that the person themselves were like this, even though he kind of was, but Mr. Man, who was one of our high school teachers.
Very common.
Yes, very commonly known. Mr. Man,
Mr.
two
Man.
ends.
Mr. Man.
The Joshua,
Great
yes.
gal. No.
He, you know, just going through high school even, just seeing not just myself open up, but just seeing people that were trying theater for the first time, you could tell how uncomfortable they were. But they would see, you know, the real theater kids,
How do you define that? Real
like people that were comfortable enough. You know, people that had
they're born to be
people,
on the stage.
people
They
that were
want to
very
be on the
comfortable
stage.
with, you know, acting. You know,
a
what
lot
people
of
would think of acting a fool on stage.
I don't want to take your water.
But like something like theater through high school, I think I saw in a lot of people, you know, because I was pretty comfortable with theater atmosphere, but seeing just over 2-3 years, or even just 1 year for some people, how open people got by using each other.
Yeah.
And you know, I find that really cool, because they're not basing it off of a famous person or, you know, some great, it's their classmates.
And they're
it's
finding
their
it within
friends.
themselves. They're
Yeah.
bringing something out.
Oh
from
yeah,
within them
absolutely. And that was, you know, one of the cool things. And like I said, Mr. Man would probably be like a person, I would say, because he was really someone very honest, you know, very approachable, and, you know, he could really get it out of people.
And that too,
which-
especially with theater, because there's a lot of, even in any aspect, there's teachers that you have where if you're not so good at it, or maybe you're just not ready for it, especially when it comes to theater. If you're, you know, you think you're ready for it, you get on stage, you're a little bit nervous, you start kind of losing yourself, you fumble over your feet, you're losing your lines. There's some teachers who will be like, I don't even want, you'll be a background, there'll never be anything else, I'll get one of my good people, or we're going to get someone else up here. And having a teacher that kind of lets everyone open up and lets everyone be themselves and experience and fall down if they need to, especially in the theater setting, where they can get that courage, that growth, where they now can almost be super comfortable making a mistake on stage.
Exactly.
Having
Any
a teacher like
creative
that is
setting,
huge.
And you know what? And
to have someone like that is probably the
Huge.
most
Yeah.
important.
It really
part,
is.
you
And
know?
that, honestly, and we talked about it earlier, but now I'm going to compliment him. This guy. I mean, especially in theater, I mean, he was somebody that he just did his thing. And a lot of people saw that and were like, oh, he's kind of weird, but like, it's also like super cool.
That's
that
the
he's,
point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't touch him or go near him or anything. But
yeah,
what he's
yeah,
doing is
yeah, absolutely.
butterfly,
Yeah,
break 'em out of
absolutely,
their
yeah.
shell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. You know what's funny? When you said Jim Carrey, I would have probably answered the same. And Chris Farley.
You're a Nathan
Chris
Lane fan,
R.I.P.
though.
I am a
Chris
Nathan Lane
Farley.
fan.
Nathan Lane is pretty
Chris
great.
Farley, Jim Carrey. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple that I would list, but they've gotten in some trouble as of late, so I won't list their names. They
Keep 'em on, don't
tarnish
say
their
it.
names, unfortunately, but no, there's a few out there, like, and I can totally resonate with Jim Carrey, and it's funny because people have told me that too.
Yes.
My mannerisms, and so I was like, weird, Jim Carrey.
I got that a lot growing up, and it used to be like an insult, because like you see him
Right?
at our age, because when a lot of people were saying it, like I was pretty highly impressionable as a kid.
Right.
So like Dumb and Dumber was one of my favorite movies.
Yep.
Ace Ventura was one of my favorite movies.
Ventura. Oh,
And
Sissy,
you-
I know you're watching.
You
You know
see
Ace
these,
Ventura.
and you do all these things, and you have that silliness to you, that goofiness where, I mean, you'll see him and you'll be sitting around friends and it could be dead silent. You do some random little and then just sit.
Okay,
and
that
then,
was literally that was scary.
and it's just like I have this energy in me. I want to get it out. And people for a second will be like, what are you doing? And if anything, it starts like a 30-minute conversation where it could be dead silent. You do something little, and now you're getting the whole room engaged. That entertainer aspect where I can tell there's a drawl in here, and I'm gonna bring this energy up a little bit. I'm gonna do something that people are gonna look at me crazy for a second, but then a week from now, maybe 2 weeks from now, they're gonna be talking about it, or they might even do it themselves when they get a little bit bored. Now you see that, and that's that same thing where they're seeing your energy, your openness to be silly and not be judged by something that you're doing or something that you say, and to have people like draw back from that and want to do that themselves, I think is the coolest thing, to see people like break out of their shell because of the way that you can act around them, and they will give you their best selves. They'll say, this guy's completely open. Yeah. I want to be showing people my real true colors. I don't want to be hiding behind this image I've created for myself. And being able to do that for people it's insane, especially with music. Music does that with a song. People will come up to you and, well, that song made me think about this, or this song made me, think about a summer day with my dog back when I was a kid, and you're like, that song was about a breakup. Yeah. But that's cool that it makes you think about that, and the things that people can draw to music, where you might not even have written the song anywhere close to what they're listening to or what they're hearing in their head, but then they'll come up to you and they'll talk to you about that, or they'll just see you on stage and the things you do, or something goofy you might have done, and they come up and talk to you about that, and they really draw back from the energy you have up on stage.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. What about you,
Slim Jim.
No, about the question he had?
Yeah, way back.
I have no clue how to answer that at all. I can't.
There's nobody non-musically that has had
no poets or anything?
Like on music itself?
What about Hunter S. Thompson?
Like,
yeah.
No.
My influence for life
I don't
in
wanna
general.
be
Yeah,
like-
exactly. Life coach.
No, probably, I don't know, more like filmmakers, I think. Like, artists still. I can't think of anyone specifically, no.
Circle back.
What about you?
No, speaking of filmmakers, Martin Scorsese. Before I got all serious, I wanted to be a film director. Martin Scorsese put that seed in my head. Love Tarantino too.
Oh, dude, Tarantino movies are so good.
Genius.
He's great, but I mean, also, some comedians. I don't really listen to that much comedy nowadays. But you go back to guys like Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh
my God. It's
amazing.
Just one line after another, incredible. It's like that. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's cool.
That's funny that you bring him up, because there's times in my own music when I'm writing that you kind of see with him that simplicity of just one line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
All
ones
about
that will just
simplicity.
drive the crowd crazy. So you think to yourself, like, what line can I write for myself where it's going to be like people are listening, they're going, and then you rip a line out, matched up with everything going on in the music, maybe with a drum slap, guitar, everything. All of a sudden, people in the crowd just go, whoa,
Oh yeah.
whoa, and it's the drawback, because you don't want everyone to just come up to you and go, hey, I like that one line from your song all the time, and you're like, thanks.
Yeah.
But it's that beauty of the one, it could take away from the whole song, and just one line that people can go, wow, that was insane, that was good.
And that's how I felt too. Once I got to a mature enough age to listen to them.
You haven't gotten to that age yet, but you'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We're working on
You said
it.
mature enough.
I'm hoping very
Mature
soon.
enough.
But like getting into like Dane Cook, like he was another person that was just a great storyteller, and he was just always going.
He
just always
was. He was a
talking.
great
And it
storyteller
was
when it
just
came to
like,
comedy.
oh my God, this guy, and the crowd is just, it's like always, and everyone's always listening, and then everyone's always laughing, and that was another person that was like, dude, this dude is selling out arenas. And like Staples Center, like this guy's putting on huge shows, and it's incredible for one person to do that.
Really,
With
all
comedy.
from your mind, too.
Yeah, from your mind.
What comes up
exactly.
to just being brought up from the openness of your mind.
Yeah.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up with you guys. Take me through the writing process. Do you guys all come together when you write? Do you guys write separately and then come together and join in songs? How does the writing process, the creative process, go for you
Well,
guys?
these are covers.
Yeah.
So it's not the same, but I mean, it's not. They're technically covers,
Soda rap.
A lot of the times it's just like a jam will turn into something, and it's like it always gets kind of put in the back burner. We'll get to that, but in the meantime, we're still working on the covers,
Yeah.
Personally, I do a lot, of my creating and whatnot, like at home. by myself, just because that's how my mind thinks in all aspects.
Yeah, having all the
basically,
quiet.
Working on a project, whatever. I'm best when I'm alone and it's quiet and whatnot. But I feel like all the stuff we've done that hasn't been a cover or anything, it's always just kind of happened accidentally.
Yeah.
That's
a good way to
that
put
could
it.
be a thing, and then we never get back to it. So we have all these recordings of things that we need to get back to.
But another thing too is that I've had a lot of because I talked to Skylar recently about it, because after our first gig, and we had some good songs, and I was like, we should at some point we should think about writing music, because I know that we've been fumbling around. And I was like, oh wait, hold on a second, and I went to my iPhone notes. Totally forgot about all the stuff I wrote like back in high school. And I'm like, I don't even remember how any of this went, but I know I have something here.
That's the worst when you go back to the words and you're like, this is good, but how did I do it?
Yeah,
You're trying to figure out the cadences. You're like,
Yes.
no, that's not it.
And it's
No,
funny
that's not
because
it.
I had one that said, Bored to Death by Blink-182 is one of my favorite songs ever. And I had a song, I had the words, and all I had underneath it was Bored to Death drum beat. And I was like, I don't even know what that meant, so I don't know how anything went together. But I know I was like, oh, I had an idea, and I'm like, I couldn't tell you. I just got the words, so who knows what the words could do. But no, I think eventually we're gonna get to that point though where we spend a lot of time during rehearsals, especially right now because we're really comfortable with a lot of our songs. And, we've started to try and like, okay, no, let's switch it up. Let's throw some more songs together. But so we've given ourselves a lot of time during rehearsal to not be like, okay, we have to keep practicing these songs and
or like the rush where you almost feel like you should put a song out.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely. It
always
takes time.
Yeah, it works better in my mind. To me, the best songs are the ones that come out when you have to get them out of you, not when you're like,
You can't go like looking for them.
Yeah,
you're not just pulling.
I
them out
want to
of
write a
thin
hit.
air.
I
It's
want
like,
I want this to be. I'm gonna
It won't
force
work.
myself to write this. If it just pours out of you. I mean, some of the songs I've written in 5 minutes are some of the best songs.
Until
I've
we
ever
get
written,
signed to
'cause they
a
just
record
fly out of you.
label,
And
because
then they're
then-
writing for you.
Yeah.
And you say, you write whatever song you want. Tell me how it goes. Exactly.
No, well, I think kind of the idea with the covers so far, is we've kind of just, music has been in a limbo, especially live music because of COVID. And I think there's going to be a great renaissance of music coming up pretty soon with a lot of variety and whatnot. And I think the stuff we do, it's familiar, but not everybody has maybe, they haven't heard it in a while, maybe.
Yeah.
We kind of want to make it, refamiliarized, bring some more attention to it, just a taste. Because, I mean, these guys, they've done a lot for the music world, and a lot of the musicians that all of us love now. I mean, we didn't play the Beatles, but they're an inspiration. I mean, they've influenced everybody.
Yeah.
I think we're just trying to find our style before creating.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if we start trying to write right now, it's going to be really forced, and it'll just be really shallow.
Yeah.
And I feel like
No.
like,
it's
oh, it
really
sounds
hard to,
cool.
I hear like it's really hard to like get down on like your style, and like we play a lot together, and we have a pretty general way that we go through songs, and it's working. But I think it's just once that's down and things happen, because the things that we have like written it's really incremental. It's a really collaborative process. Call out like we're jamming on something, and you tell Dylan, I like this little thing you're laying here. Keep on that. Skylar comes in with something, and it's a really like incremental. And I think it's all like based upon just trying to find that style. But
It was crazy watching you guys come back, 'cause I didn't personally go with you on your trip down south. That was you.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that was fun.
watching you guys come back, I was amazed at how quickly you can absorb someone else's style, and it's almost like you've been there for a long time. Who were you jamming with? Whose family was
Robert
it?
Yeah.
Kimbrough Senior, Dwayne Burnside, John Iyer, Little Joe. They had like 3 different names for that guy. I don't even remember what he was called.
Yeah. But
Cedric
it was amazing.
Burnside, and then there was another one. Was Kinney there?
Cedric
Kinney
was there.
was Kinney Kimbrough
Cedric
there?
Burnside was there, I think,
Was-
on the drums.
No, Kinney.
I don't know if Kenny was there.
Okay, I think Kinney's dead. Actually,
Kenny. If he is, rest in peace, Kenny. But
It'd be scary if he was there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, no.
What a trip.
It was cool though, because I mean that I graduated about a week prior, and
What a way to
Rick-
celebrate.
yeah, no, Rick, contacted Robert and gave him my name, and then Robert texted me, Robert Kimbrough that is, and he's like, hey,
Text you personally.
yeah, he's like, I heard you
Wow.
like this type of music, and I'm like, yeah. I love that type of music. The Mississippi, northern Mississippi hill country blues, great stuff. Some of the oldest music still kept alive, and it's great. Talk about exposing new audiences to things. We need to bring them up here. But no, he's like, I got this festival coming up. You got to come up and see it if you want. Yeah, I'll come up and see it.
Yeah, I'll take a
Come
field
down.
trip.
Come down, yeah. Come down.
So, you know, we went up there not knowing what to expect down there to Mississippi. And
Way up.
I do that all the time.
Way up there. We go down there, and we get there. It was like meeting a family all of a sudden. You know, it's like, I don't know you, but I know you. And everybody was so comfortable with us. And we played guitar with them for a full Saturday, you know, absorbed as much as we could. No, it was great, though. I mean, definitely
worth
put that rhythm.
28 hours of driving in
Oh.
3.5 days.
I think that is the best way with, especially musicians, to kind of get that comfortability. And like you said, it's like you're seeing like distant family. Like, I feel like I should know you, but I don't. And all it takes is come sit and play.
Exactly.
Come sit and play. And
That's
then
all
you
it
guys start, do this, try this. And then you almost get that comfortability without even saying words from you guys kind of finding each other with music. And then once you put the guitars down, you guys talk like you had just been hanging out for months.
It was funny the way the guys talk down there, because, well, this is northern Mississippi, so this is Holly Springs, so the accents are, it's like, it doesn't even sound like language or like formulated words. Like they're the masters of mumbling down there.
They talk in cursive?
No, it's not cursive. There's no coherence. It's just a smudge.
Oh, they talk in doctor's writing.
But
You were the guy from Mexico to them.
Yeah, I was the guy
they
from
didn't learn
Mexico.
his
They
name.
didn't learn. They couldn't figure out the name. But no, when we went down there, it was funny. Is like, anyway, those guys, like, you
gotta
play with
feel
them,
nice.
and there's no, there, like, I think the most they ever said, like, as far as theory, there was no talks of like measures or sets or bars or anything. It was all just, I think the most we said was tune half a step down. And then I think John said he couldn't sing an E, so we played an A. That was about it. Everything else was very fluid. It was cool.
And it's cool because they brought that back.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
whole
It's
set today
different.
was
Yeah,
down
yeah.
tuned.
It's a very
a half
insular
step.
world. So
Wow, how
And-
about that?
Yeah, it was super weird because last week
that was
was
supposed to be a
like
secret, but yeah.
said nobody.
See that, Drew?
But,
That's what I do. I get the
yeah.
deep stuff here.
But
Breaking 'em.
No,
Breaking 'em down.
that was cool though. You know, I think it was last week our first rehearsal since you guys came back. Yeah. So you know, just hearing those cool stories.
It was
with
quickly
people.
how, like, when you brought back that music, it incorporated itself the first time we played. The very first time. And even in the drums, like, I was playing
Did you tune the
stuff-
drums a half step down too?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well,
You
you know,
have
they
to.
got this thing down there, you know, where they're playing off the beat, they're playing around the beat, they're hanging on to the beat. That's like everything, you know, especially when it comes to having a strong rhythm section.
Yeah.
That's surprising and fresh and organic, you know, and I think we really did a good job of trying to incorporate that the best we could, or at least noticed it and want to build that.
Yeah, because we found a really good groove last week, and I remember the first time we were playing the set, I was like, "Holy cow!" I was like, "Something's really different," and I realized it was like these two.
And
I was like, holy cow.
And the best part of the trip was probably meeting Dwayne.
Dwayne
He's
Burnside.
probably the most lovable, psychotic, just a complete, full-blown psycho. That man is, he's not well.
Blown psycho.
He is.
The man's like playing guitar, his kids, 2-year-old
Crawling
kids
up on
climbing
the
all
wall.
over him around the guitar. He's still playing.
That's the best stuff.
Trying to
That's
sell me
it's
a
just
dime
fun.
bag
It's
at
just
the
fluid.
same time, like I'm here for his festival.
Oh, yeah, no.
So I'm getting the signal here from the Master Chief that it's about that time. Do I have? Can I ask him one more question, quick, or are we?
Oh,
Yes. I was just gonna, in a year's time from right now, this day, starting summer next year. Where do you guys see yourself? Where do you want to be? In a couple quick words.
Graduated, gigging, working.
I thought you were gonna stick with the 3 G's there.
yeah.
Grinding.
God.
You could have threw in grinding right there.
Grinding. There you go.
Triple G. All
I don't
right.
really know. I guess we haven't really, because everything's been so fresh. We haven't even really, you know. I personally, I've been like, oh, you know,
You
what?
already reached the word limit.
Oh, okay.
Where would you want to be?
That was my answer.
In a perfect world, where would next year's summer be looking like for you?
Just a lot more gigs, you know, a COVID-free world, just a lot less restrictions, you know, being able to share music, inspiring new people, too. You know, I think a lot of inspirations missed nowadays because everything is just so, how do I say this? Everything's just so inspired on stuff like TikTok and Instagram nowadays.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people, you know, they're growing up with the music that they're seeing on their TikToks and their Instagrams and stuff. Example of that I'll say really quickly was Paul Anka's. Put Your Head on My Shoulder. One of my favorite songs of all time.
Beautifully written song.
Then there's a sexual innuendo TikTok that takes that song, and I'm like, oh, see, people can't really enjoy the song.
They gotta ruin it.
They're
You gotta ruin it
enjoying,
for
and
'em.
they're enjoying the influencers doing
And
this.
it's not
Yeah.
his song, it's TikTok's song.
Yeah, see, now it's like, oh, that song from
yeah.
TikTok. I'm like,
Yeah,
look up
that
Paul
is the
Anka
worst.
performing the
That's
song
the
live,
worst.
and it's, oh, it's the TikTok, or the Fortnite this and the TikTok that. I'm like, people don't really get the originality of a lot of these artists. So we're hoping to share that and give people
And it's a
new
lot of
perspective.
copycat culture now with that going on with social media and TikTok and stuff like that. You see someone blow up with a short little catchy song, and then you don't even, again, it's almost that forcing out. You don't even care if it's good or if it comes from your own mind. You're like, oh, I'm just going to rip off that song. I'll change it a little bit, change some words. Boom. I know I'm going to get people on the internet to dance. And it's not about I'm going to affect someone. I'm going to influence someone. I'm going to change someone's entire mindset on life.
Yeah.
It's not I just want to make them dance and get on this trend.
Yeah. What about you?
A lot more evolved. Not that we're not, but always learning,
Always
picking
room
up
to grow.
new things. I think just trying our best, to expose the best sounds that we can to the people that want to listen to us. Just keep the experience moving, I guess, as long as we can.
Amen.
A week from now, I think it'd be cool if we had, or a year from now.
I was going to say a
from
week.
now-
Wow, you're
We still have a gig.
Yeah. A year from now, I'd like to play right by the Stone Arch. There's a stage.
Yes.
Right by the Stone Arch Bridge, downtown Minneapolis. There's a stage. I want us to play.
the one in the
all-
flour mill?
Yeah.
by the flour
right,
mill?
Yeah, right. That's on the side that's like.
Campus side or on?
The
Demolished
side-
side?
Lancaster,
Opposite
on
of the
St.
downtown,
Anthony,
like
kinda.
the skyscraper.
Okay.
I can't. Stone Arch.
Opposite side of the mill.
Regardless, on a stage there playing live for a group of people. We're going to be playing blues rock, all originals, and have I think it'd be cool if there was a food truck, a couple people, nothing crazy.
Food truck,
Just definitely a food truck, a little bit of beer, and just people coming and going, and we just got people who want to come see us and hang out right by the store. I think that'd be really cool to do a year from now.
I think, like today
Very
was-
specific.
yeah.
That's a specific
Well,
thing
you
you want to
asked,
happen.
so-
I mean, that's true. I'm just saying he knew exactly what I want. In a
And-
year, I want this to happen.
And today was a
I
really
know it.
good example of that too. Just seeing people people took time out of their day,
Oh, it's
stopped
incredible.
and came and listened to us. And
It's
I'm
incredible.
Like,
This is such a good place to
absolutely.
get people, and they're all from all over the world. So it's not like you're just getting a Minnesota music sound. You're getting people from everywhere, and they'll come in and they'll. I'm from the South. I'm from
Oh, yeah,
East
we're
Side. I'm from West Side.
Airport.
You get people from everywhere.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm getting another signal from Pika. Thank you guys for stopping in. I hopefully will see you back up here again. I would hope.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to keep up with you guys. I
be
hope to
around.
go see you guys live more and more.
You mean next weekend, right?
Yes, next weekend. Next weekend I'll be going to
Yeah.
see him. Thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with
Thank you guys for having us.
me,
today, too.
hanging out with the Broken Arrows here at the Mall of America, Prince Music Company. Go out and spread love. It's not that hard. Be a good person. There's so much that can be fixed in this world with love. Just go spread smiles. It's not that hard. Have a good time.
Thank you guys.